Hey guys, thanks for having me. We're big fans of the events. Have been, I think, probably in every single city for you guys, and are going to try to keep up with you, expand internationally. So let me do a brief introduction about myself, and then talk about Accel. So it's kind of, well, we do both role reversal. I typically don't pitch. You probably typically don't listen to 20 pitches in a row. So I'll try to be differentiated, but also realize that the closer we get to lunch break, the narrower the attention span gets. I'm Russian originally, lived in Berlin for about 10 years, then I moved to the States, went to college there, and ended up doing technology investing there. I moved to London, where I am now with Accel about 3 years ago, to really vote with my feet when it comes to innovation in Europe and the opportunity I see for the startups there. So if you think, in VC speak, you have to be contrarian and you have to be right in order to achieve big outcomes, I decided to be contrarian and move from San Francisco to London to do venture investing. And so what do we do at Accel? We're about 30 years old, founded in Palo Alto. And the main difference to sort of the normal story of saying you stay on Sand Hill Road and then you have a couple of partners who then make investments typically proximity based is that we've decided to grow internationally. So today we have an office in Palo Alto, we have an office in San Francisco, we have an office in New York, we're in London, where I am, we have a team in India, and we're also working closely with China. And that's really sort of, if I had to leave you as one message, is that is fundamentally the big macro differentiation. And the reason we did that is because we fundamentally believe that innovation is a global phenomenon. So whereas 20 or 30 years ago, if you said your ambition was to find the most innovative companies and the most exciting entrepreneurs, you would say, okay, well, let's go to Silicon Valley and let's stay here and let's not go anywhere, right? Whereas today, if you look around at the innovation growth, it literally comes from anywhere, and it's fueled by all the buzzwords like SaaS, mobile, cloud, et cetera, which essentially allows every company to access customers anywhere in the world and be location agnostic, right? So we're investors in a company called Supercell, which made Clash of Clans and a number of other mobile games, most successful mobile apps ever. When you open your phone and you want to play the game, you're not asking yourself, hey, where are these guys based, or do they speak the language? It turns out they're based in Finland, but it's completely irrelevant, right? And so they were able to build a truly global company out of Finland. And that is one of the reasons that we are excited about the global innovation opportunity. And so for us, because the ultimate objective for us is to partner with great entrepreneurs who are building category-defining companies, and then we say these people and these companies can be anywhere in the world, we have said we have to be more global. Why is that? It's because A, we like to meet companies early. B, we'd like to understand local context. So I'd like to actually understand that Slovenia and Slovakia are two different countries, and that while they're somewhere in proximity of Switzerland, they're still very different. And so it turns out they actually speak different languages and might, God forbid, have different currencies. These are all things that, from the west coast of the United States seem like minor details that are not that important. If you actually live in Europe, you might be more aware of that, or I would hope so. And so it helps us have a more local context for entrepreneurship. At the same time, the global network also allows us to draw lessons globally and connect our companies. So that companies in Slovenia might be able to learn from companies in the US or India and the other way around. And the third point that I think is important is that we're able and want to help companies scale globally. So if you are in Europe and you have a SaaS company and you'd like to scale to the US, such as ClickTech did, a Swedish BI company that we eventually took public in the US, it's really helpful to partner with someone who has a strong network in the US. And by strong network, I don't mean that I've met someone at a conference or went to college with someone who is now my US network. I mean that we actually have an office there and we have a team there that's been on the ground for over 30 years. And the other way around as well, if you take the example of Kayak, which is a flight comparison website that some of you guys might have used, they specifically wanted to work with us because they wanted to come from the States to Europe. And so that's the macro level. On a more micro level, in the next 20 seconds, it's about 10 of us in London. We invest out of a 500 million fund. We focus on Series A and B, but can make exceptions on both sides of that. So our range of investments is from 1 to 50 million. So in exceptional cases, we can make exceptional decisions. What we're really focused on, and the reason that we most typically have to say no, is that we're really looking for category-defining companies and entrepreneurs that can really create large companies. And so that's why it's good to meet someone early on, because it gives us a chance to get to know people and build conviction over time, and we can then pretty much partner with you guys at any point in time, and also make sure to follow on because we have the funds and the excitement to help you build global companies. Thanks very much.
Sure. Thank you, Michael.